Hi guys, welcome back. I'm Dave from mygunvalues.com, and today we have for you a little pocket pistol, little belly gun, whatever you want to call it. This is a Phoenix Arms HP25. It's as the name suggests, it's a 25 ACP caliber. Handy little, it's made to be a handy little gun to take out, as a carry gun. It has some limitations and some drawbacks that I'm not real enamored with on this particular weapon, and it would not be my first choice for self-defense for a number of reasons. So what I'm going to do, and it's also got some really weird kind of maneuvers and tricks you have to make. I'm not going to take it down for you, although if you pull that forward, you can release this and take it apart pretty easy. It's not too hard to figure out. Phoenix Arms started in 1994. Some of the original production, of which this was one, there were some issues with the springs and the safeties. If you send it back to Phoenix Arms, at least I was told this a few years ago when I acquired this gun, if you're the original owner, they'll fix it for free. If you're not the original owner, it's going to run you a few dollars for them to go in and fix it. The spring up here on the trigger safety on this was broken when I got it, and I believe that's one of the problems they were having. I sent it back and they fixed it, and I think they charged me, 10 or 15 bucks. It wasn't much. So they make them in two finishes. They make black and they make nickel. It looks stainless, but it is nickel. And it's got a little vent rib on top of the barrels here. Synthetic grips. Serial numbers on the back of the frame right here. It's a 9 or a 10 round magazine, depending on the day, I think. And let's discuss the good, and then we're going to get into the bad. The good, of course, is it's handy. For a woman, somebody who doesn't shoot a lot, because kids can't own firearms till they're 21, so it's definitely not a child's thing. But for somebody who's recoil sensitive, the 25 ACP is not going to generate any amount of recoil. But conversely, this little, I think there's 60 grain slugs on here. They're really not going to generate much in the way of stopping power. So some of the other things, it's the vent rib here. While it looks snazzy, I'm not real sure, how much you're going to be able to shoot this. How quickly do you really need that vent rib for extra cooling? It's kind of superfluous to me. And again, some people may love it. I'm just talking my opinion of the gun. Adds a little bit of weight. That's something else they've changed. They list the new ones at 20 ounces. This one weighs in at 23.7 ounces without the magazine inserted. So they have lightened them up in newer production just a little bit. It's got an integral slide block, magazine disconnect, hammer block safety system where they all tie together, and you have to do it in the right order or this gun it just won't cooperate. You have to slide the safety for the slide. You have to slide that up, and then you can push and pull the magazine out. And see, now that magazine's out, you can't push that safety down. Okay. Now we're in. It's a single action, meaning it doesn't pull the trigger back, or the hammer back. The hammer must be back, and then it'll fire, and yes, it was empty. I had checked, believe me, several times. Trigger pull on this thing is just a little bit beyond atrocious. It's about 8 pounds. There's a kind of a reason. In the old days, these were called belly guns, because you pretty much got to walk up and stick this thing in someone's belly to hit what you're aiming at. It's not a real accurate firearm because of that excessive trigger pull. So, you know, like I said, it's a handy little gun to stick in your purse if you're somebody who's recoil sensitive, but not a lot of stopping power. You know, really heavy trigger pull. You know, you do have the hammer block safety up here on the top of the slide. So like right now, and we'll do this when we go out to the range with this thing, that's not supposed to let it go off. There's a hammer block safety. If you pivot that up, you can see the little red dot, then it should allow the gun to fire. When I acquired this gun many years ago, the spring inside here and the safety mechanism was broken. So what I think we'll do is we'll go ahead and load up the mag, and I'm gonna check the magazine here. I only have the one magazine for it. It says on the website that this is a 9-round magazine, but I thought I remembered this thing holding 10. Six. This is another one. It is reloadable. 7. It's kind of like Y. There's 8. There's 9. I thought I remembered that. This magazine holding 10. Like I said, on the website it says 9. That's something they might have changed since this gun was produced, but this one does hold 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to shut the cameras off. We're going to move outside, and we'll see. And I'll show you. Typical. I've got some water bottles set up that, you know, they're going to be at about 5 yards, and you can see that it's not the most accurate weapon, and it really doesn't have a tremendous amount of power. But the standing joke is a gun is better than no gun if you're in trouble. So we'll set that up here. We'll go ahead and shut down the cameras, and we'll go ahead and go out and take you outside, and we'll do some shooting out there.